Hello and welcome to Full Time Score with another episode with your boy TC. I'm not alone. I'm with my main man Sfiso Mkwanazi. He's right here with me. He's ready again for tonight. Sfiso, how are you, my brother?
How are you, sir? I'm good. I'm good, sir. How are you? And I think maybe today we'll be struggling on a network, but I'll push. We'll push.
Yeah, it's just another day between you and me when we're struggling with network. It's just another day. So
Yeah.
we are used to it. We are used to this thing by now, but
Yeah.
somehow we manage most times,
Yeah. We're
man.
used to this thing.
Man, Sfiso,
Mm.
speaking of problems, speaking
Mm.
of connecting problems. There's a team there that you support,
Yeah.
the yellow and gold. I'm a Kosi. I'm a boys.
Yeah.
There's a lot of issues there. I want us
Yeah.
to try and discuss them quite a lot tonight before network starts giving us bigger issues. So I want to
Yeah.
start here. I'm going to go through here. Chiefs changed everybody at the start of the season. They changed the technical team. We were told they're bringing in a highly qualified, highly experienced technical team that had done well, I believe, somewhere in Tunisia or Tanzania, somewhere that side. They came in, they were brought in, and about there's quite a we were almost at the end of the season, and it's been a bit of a mess. Recently, especially, Kaizer Chiefs have not won a game since the 1st of March. I'm talking about a league game because they did win. They did win the quarterfinal against in Stellenbosch in the Nedbank Cup. The last game they won was 1-0 against Mackenzie. In that period, they've also lost against Sundowns. They drew against Cape Town City. They lost 2-0 against Richards Bay. They lost 2-1 against Golden Arrows at the end of last month. And then they drew 1-1 over the weekend, which is the beginning of April, up against the Rustics Galaxy. And as we speak currently on the log, they are in position. I just want to confirm that. I don't want to talk lies, man. I want to confirm their position quickly. They're currently in position number 8. After 24 matches played in the Premier
Mm.
League or the PSL, they've got the only 30
Yeah.
points. They've won 8 matches, drawn 6, lost 10. They've scored 29 goals, conceded 24. They've got a goal difference of -5. Um, Coach Nabi came in, said he's gonna cook. Media said he's gonna cook. Chiefs fans, we are back. He made 10 signings, about 10 signings this season.
Mm.
Abolilepo came in late, Kere came in, Sereno was signed in, the goalkeeper Ndwari was brought in, Rashane Dutli was brought in. I think that there's other players as well. Maybe I forgot them. Bradley Cross was also brought in. Yeah, it's not been a good season. I want your take, your honest take, whatever that may be, as a Kaizer Chiefs fan of the season so far.
Yeah. It's not a good season. It was not a good season yet again for Kaizer Chiefs. It hasn't been a good season yet again. Um, I strongly believe Uguti, even Coach Nabi knows Uguti was not the season that maybe he thought it would be, but realistically, he knows Uguti it was not going to be easy for him. Well, it was not going to be easy for him. It's a season whereby, it was a time whereby he's new and he doesn't know anything about PSL, he doesn't have the history or the background. It was always going to be challenging. It was always going to be challenging. So we know what, and he also knows what he is going to be up against, especially with PSL. PSL, it might be a league that is praised in Africa and all, but is we are still struggling Lapanalapa with the football that is being played and the quality of football that is here in PSL. We know with the big teams is Pirates, Kaizer Chiefs, and Mamelodi Sundowns, and these smaller teams, they come in to disturb these three teams. There's actually not that much of a competition among the bases. So, but Unabi still struggles against those so-called smaller teams. And honestly speaking, as we are just becoming honest, the Kaizer Chiefs, to me, in terms of it being a brand, and it being a team that we know, the history and everything that they have, looking at their performance, they just became an ordinary team, according to me. That's how I see it. I'm not emotional or anything, but when I look at the Kaizer Chiefs, especially on their performance, Brataban, they've now become an ordinary team in terms of their performance. The Kaizer Chiefs struggles to beat the Golden Arrows. They struggle to against the TS Galaxy. I know TS Galaxy is doing well, but TS Galaxy is not wow. Like their performance is not wow, but they are doing well for themselves. They are just doing well for themselves. They are number 3 on the log, but it doesn't mean they are that excellent in terms of the performance. And when you see the game yesterday, the Kaizer Chiefs was all over TS Galaxy in the first half. They showed the quality, they showed the class that they are a big team and they want to own up to this game. But they make yet other mistakes. Yet again, in the last 9 minutes of the game, whereby now they have to show experience. They have to show that they are a big team. They have to show that they need to own up to this and make sure they take the whole 3 points. But unfortunately, they find themselves yet again losing points foot and just taking 1 point. It's good that they have 30 points. It's good that the coach Nabi has 30 points. But I'm not happy with Coach Nabi, honestly speaking. I'm not happy because after playing 24 games, you have to know at least something about language. Maybe you have dealt with the issue of language. In terms of the communication, fixing that. Because it can be a struggle. It can be a struggle. And I'm serious. These things are very important to look at. 24 games, you have to know your first 11 and be sure about it. And be sure about your first 11. 24 games, you have to know what is going on with the team and everything that you're doing. So it is not an easy thing for Coach Nabi, I know, not knowing the league and whatnot. There are so many challenges that the guy is facing. And the other thing is the quality of the players. The quality of the players is not up to standard the way you would wish it to be. I think on the Kaizer Chiefs, if I'm not mistaken, if I look at the first lineup especially, the experienced players, you talk about this guy. Who is this guy called? Usirino. That's the experience Kaizer Chiefs have. They have experience. Miguel Cardoso. They also have experience. I can say Ungobo now is an experienced campaigner. He's been there for Kaizer for a while now. He's been there for a while. Ubomana is experienced. He's been playing, but he was not playing that much. Although he was not playing that much, he's not. Doesn't.
But he's been there.
But he's been there. Yes, he's been there. So when you look at the numbers, Zaga Coach Nabi, since he came in, is not convincing. Uguti, we will have him maybe in the other coming seasons. But it cannot be everything now, but it will count. It will count because when you look at when the league ends, how sure are we Uguti Kaizer Chiefs will end up being in the top 8? That's the first thing. You see, how sure are we Uguti Kaizer Chiefs can beat Mamelodi Sundowns and end up in the finals and taking the Nedbank Cup? With this performance, I'm not talking about, we can talk about other things, but honestly speaking, the performance of the Kaizer Chiefs is not convincing. It's not convincing. Ungobo is not improving the way I want him to be. He's not becoming a player that I wish he could be. And with due respect to Ungobo, he's one of the best players I know in Kaizer Chiefs, and he's been promising, but is not delivering the way I saw he could deliver. But he has potential. Let me say he has potential. You look at man, there are so many players that Kaizer Chiefs have developed, and they are playing in the current squad, but still they are not that much convincing. Jabulo Plom has been doing well as well, but he's been playing in the different position and so on and so on. but now he's currently not playing now. And the chop and changing of the squad as well. There are so many loopholes there, Coach Nabi, that I have question about. And does the guy know what he's doing about? Because if you can see, I just want to mention this, and I think it's going to be important in our conversation. Coach Nabi, if you can look at how Kaizer Chiefs were playing the first half, they're playing this kind of tiki-taka football. They're playing this kind of tiki-taka football. And it's not something that Coach Nabi usually believes in. I'm not sure if I make sense. But that football, they normally don't play. He likes playing those balls whereby they make those crosses. He plays with the fullbacks. They just come in and put them those crosses, and Olilep and other players, they put those on those crosses, or make sure that they have enough players in the box and they play diagonally and whatnot. So then they change again. They play another way that you don't really understand what is happening. You see, not really sure about his plan. And the other thing, the concentration for the players, Kaizer Chiefs players, are these players who know what they are doing in terms of the experience? Are they applying it? Because if you are leading against TS Galaxy, you make sure that you punish them, not by one nil only. You know they will come back. You know what they will do in the second half.
And they came back.
Prepared. And they came back. I have nothing against. I'm not entirely maybe to say I don't like Unabi or whatnot, but I'm speaking on terms of what he delivers. In terms of what he delivers, it is not enough for a team like Kaizer Chiefs. It is not enough, man. Honestly speaking, it is not enough. So we have to be realistic with ourselves. Look at our position in the log. Look at what we have achieved so far this season. And the only thing that will bring the confidence about Coach Nabi to the fans is the Nedbank Cup. That's the only thing. Yes. And if he wins it, then he won the confidence of the fans. But so far, it is not happening. And I'm not happy with Coach Nabi's tactics.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. I'm being honest with you before I say anything from my side. If we were to talk about Kaizer Chiefs, it would be like talking about fixing this country's problems. You know, how are we going to fix unemployment? How are we going to fix electricity? How are we going to fix corruption? How are we going to fix GBV? We could go on until next season when we talk about such issues, because Kaizer Chiefs is a national brand. The brand is big, it's huge. Kaizer Chiefs can go anywhere in a small or big town or big city or whatever, and fans will flock because it's Kaizer Chiefs. And when we see what we're seeing, it's very disappointing, because I think about just the history of the club. I'm not a Chiefs fan, but I grew up watching a lot of Chiefs games because my uncles were Chiefs supporters, you know, especially my uncles. None of my family, their immediate family members are Chiefs people. But we watched a lot of it. And we still continue to do it, you know. But let me get to my thing. I'm going to start here, brother. When it comes to player quality, I think everybody complains when it comes to Chiefs with player quality. They probably compare it to a Sundowns, they compare it to Orlando Pirates. And sometimes they can even go as far as comparing it to Abos Kukume, who brought in a lot of good players and improved them. The one thing I think is the major problem with Kaizer Chiefs players is the mentality of the players when they get to the club. I look at Serginho when he was signed, before he was signed. Serginho was a top-class player at Mamelodi Sundowns. Top class, one of the best players in the league, one of the better players in the whole continent, because he was competing at the CAF Champions League. I look at Ashley Dupree 3-4 seasons ago when Chiefs signed him. He was one of the top strikers in the country at the time when he was playing at Stellenbosch. You know, look at Bopule Modi when they were signed from Royal EM and Golden Arrows, wherever he was signed. Top player at that club where he was signed from. Kaizer Chiefs may not necessarily spend 60 million to bring a player from Uruguay or Brazil or wherever Sundowns is bringing these players. They may not have the hype around them as Orlando Pirates have. We see now there's a young boy Mbukazi coming up There's a lot of hype on that boy. He's been compared to old John Mabizela. And Kaizer Chiefs may not have that, but they do have talented players. The question I question is the mentality of the players. I've had this discussion with you. I spoke to you about Bruce Vuma, and I said, Vuma's been there for about 10 years at that football club. He's never improved. And that's not Kaizer Chiefs' fault, because Kaizer Chiefs have the best facilities. Yes, there's issues with coaching, there's issues with this, but also at some point the player has to make the decision, and he's not the only one. Now, I question, why do players come from wherever? They come to Kaizer Chiefs, they regress. Is there an issue within the culture of the football club in the dressing room to say, these guys, something just switches them off? Because when they play for Golden House, in fact, when they leave Chiefs, we're looking at Christian Sahile. He left Chiefs. He's shining. Keegan Dolly. He played against Chiefs Saturday. He was great. But when he was at Chiefs, he looked uninterested. He was gaining weight. He was highly paid. He was the captain. He offered Kaizer Chiefs nothing for 2 to 3 seasons. So I question the culture and the mentality at the club of the players before I go to the quality. Because even if you have quality players, if the mentality and the culture is not right within the club, you'll never win anything. And that's where I want to start. That's where I want to start. Then I want to go talk about Orlando. I want to talk about the coaching. When he first came, I had questions that this dude, do we know enough about him? Because people are looking at his CV, and a CV is a piece of paper. You and I have CVs, my brother. Does not mean we can do a job that the CV says we did. You know, a football is like that, bro. You need to understand the coach. You need to understand the approach. You can't say this guy was winning leagues in Tanzania, Tunisia, and he just done well there. He'll come and play here and do well here. The mistake we make in South African football, especially our big teams, is the exact same thing I'm telling you. We go for someone who has some form of qualification and whatnot, without really researching the coach's mentality, his approach to football, his philosophy. Because I can tell you now, no one can point out what Nabi's philosophy is. And Kaizer Chiefs supporters, they were complaining about philosophy when Hunt was there, when Baxter was there, when Zwane took over. They were complaining about philosophy back then. Now, there's a coach with no philosophy. There's no direction in the team. He's chopping and changing the squad. We're not sure where the club is going forward. It's been a disappointing season. People will try to find positives. It's Kaizer Chiefs supporters. That's what you guys do best. You'll always find something positive somewhere, and it's okay. It's cute. It's beautiful. But it's not realistic. The reality is it has not been a good season at all for Kaizer Chiefs. Coach Nabi has not really changed anything at that football club. Yes, he signed players. Yes, he's got this highly experienced technical team that we keep being tell about. They brought in that goalkeeper coach who smiles a lot and sends the peace ups to the fans. It's great. But on the field, nothing has changed on the football field. I'm sorry, I know it sounds sarcastic, but nothing has changed on the football field. And that's where it counts. And when I thought this season would be about bridging the gap. I didn't expect them to win anything. But I thought he can start bridging the gap between him and Orlando Pirates and Sundowns. But I just think Orlando Pirates and Sundowns, irrespective of what happens in the Nedbank Cup, those guys are far ahead of Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs need to start worrying about TS Galaxy, Golden Arrows, Skukune. Those are the guys they should be worried about catching up to before they can start talking about catching up to Pirates, Mamelodi Sundowns. Mr. Swiss, are you still there? Okay, Suiso has vanished for a minute or two, but I'm sure he'll be back. I think Kaizer Chiefs, as I said, I'll continue on a solo tangent. Yeah. I think they need to catch up, firstly, to your Skukunes, your TS Galaxy, who've improved in the last few seasons. Then they can start worrying about the Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates, because if you look at the level Sundowns and Orlando Pirates are currently at, it's very, very, very difficult to imagine that Kaizer Chiefs will be able to catch up with those two teams. And with this current coaching team that they've got, that does not look like they've got any form of direction. I don't foresee Kaizer Chiefs catching up. Mr. Swiso, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back. Ish. I think there was a
Yeah,
network problem there and there.
yeah. We know we anticipated it at
Uh,
a certain. We anticipated at a certain time you
yeah,
will disappear.
yeah, definitely.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you are still there.
yeah, I'm still here, my brother. I was just talking. I
Okay,
was
okay.
continuing to talk, but actually, I had just
Mm.
more or less concluded. I want us to jump to the next phase
Mm.
so that we can close up shop, and this is where we conclude what we're going to talk about. Last week, Orlando Pirates had a nice week. They won in Algiers. Great game on Tuesday night.
Mm.
Beautiful, fantastic. I was happy for Pirates.
Mm.
And then on their way back, somewhere in between, or when they landed, Coach Riviero, the news come out. Coach Riviero is leaving Orlando Pirates at the end of the season when his contract expires. And you and I have mentioned this in passing when we've had previous conversations concerning Pirates to say, I think we and I agreed that irrespective of if they win the league or not and how far they go in the CAF Champions League, he's done enough to maintain or regain his position and get a second contract. And I said it that I hope he doesn't leave because he's done a fantastic job. He's brought something into Pirates that seemed to have disappeared. And at least he's pushed Pirates closer to Mamelodi Sundowns and he's pushing Sundowns closer. And we hear he's going. And now the news is going, Sfiso. We hear that it seems as though he had to separate himself from his family because they are still in Spain. He didn't bring them over to South Africa when he moved here. So he doesn't see them much. He's always here. He's always working. And it sounds like it's more of a personal decision than really a professional decision. I just want to get your take on this, man. It's not good news for anyone. I don't think it's good news for Pirate supporters. They were very emotional as usual, very emotional bunch. But your take on it, I just want to hear your take.
Yeah, it's disappointing. Disappointing for him, as well as for Orlando Pirates and the fans, because he has achieved a lot for Orlando Pirates. He has achieved a lot, and in a small space, man. It didn't take time for him to finally get it right. Because if you can, I think he had plus minus three or seasons somewhere there. 3 seasons, yes. And in these 3 seasons, he achieved a lot for himself, man. It's not easy for you to come from a certain country and come and coach in Kaizer Chiefs, in Orlando Pirates or in PSL, not knowing the history and the culture and whatnot of the league as a whole and whatnot, and the challenges that he faced, and was able to carry himself up until now and carry the team up until now. And I'm so happy what he has achieved for Orlando Pirates. Now, I think Orlando Pirates has become a team that I really thought it would be a team that would challenge Mamelodi Sundowns for the league and maybe push as far as maybe pressing Mamelodi Sundowns to maybe we see a game at a league whereby we're going to a final game where to decide who's going to take a league. And that's how Orlando Pirates, that's how good Orlando Pirates become. And that's how much they've improved. I mean, the guy has won 3 MTN8s as well as the Nedbank Cups. You know, he has won almost every trophy that is there. And except the league, except the Champions League, which is still playing in, and hopefully maybe he can win it. But I just wish he could win something like a CAF Champions League to say, you know what, he just put a cherry on top to say, hey, I've done much and this is how far I could go with Orlando Pirates, or just go to the finals. Just go to the finals with Orlando Pirates of the CAF Champions League. It would be very, very, very nice. I'm happy the coach, what he has achieved with the Orlando Pirates. And I don't know who they are going to hire, because it's a big blow. This one is a big blow for Orlando Pirates. Just when Orlando Pirates was starting to become that oil machine, well-oiled machine, flowing games, winning weekend in, weekend out, winning games, difficult or easy. There's no longer a game that is too big for Orlando Pirates to handle it, because that's how good Jose Riviero has done to Orlando Pirates, and the strategies that he brought and everything that he has done is very good. So I don't know what is going to happen, because this is a big disappointment, and I just hope whoever will come will just carry on what continue on what the coach has achieved so far for Orlando Pirates. And it has to be a really good coach, because if you have to replace that guy, then you have to be really good. You have to be really good, Mr. Tabang. You have to be really good to replace that guy, because what he has done with Orlando Pirates in such a short space of time, it is really amazing. And a coach that comes in, he has to be experienced, and it will be even good that they choose a coach who knows at least about the PSL. You see, a coach that when he comes in, he knows at least about the PSL, and he's been coaching for several years in the PSL. That it will be good for him to continue the Orlando Pirates. But if they find someone who will go out and come in who doesn't know anything about our league, who doesn't know anything about Orlando Pirates and whatnot, it's going to be very, very, very difficult for him, because he'll start doing his own things on top of something that maybe he doesn't know much about. So Riviero has had to start from scratch. He had to start from scratch, analyze Orlando Pirates, the way they play, bring his own strategies, bring his own philosophy. But big ups to Coach Dr. Ivan Khoza, man. Big ups to that man. Big ups to that man. He knows how to handle a team, and he knows how to administrate, man. I think, man, you bring in a coach, then you become that patient up until he brings in the results. It's very, very good. And I just hope whichever is going to choose to come and coach Orlando Pirates, I have no doubt he'll choose someone who's more better, if not the same quality as Coach Jose Riviero. He has done a good job, and well done to him, and congratulations to him, what he has achieved so far. Even if he doesn't win the CAF or doesn't go to the finals or what, but what is achieved so far with the Orlando Pirates, a big team like Orlando Pirates, is really great.
Yeah, you're right, man. Mr. Swish, it is a big blow to Amabagania. This coach has really combined them. You know, Chiefs, Orlando Pirates have never struggled to recruit players. I think it was always finding the right squad, right players, the right combinations, the right philosophy to bring in those players and play. And coach has done an outstanding job getting the team to come together. And also, one thing winning does, it gives you confidence. You know, when they won their first MTN 8, they got the confidence to go win the second one. And then they came back again and they did it again and again. So it's fantastic to see them do what they've done in those tournaments, MTN 8 and Nedbank Cup. I mean, 3 MTN 8s, 2 Nedbank Cups. It's honestly, let's be honest, it's fantastic to watch. When he came, I was like, who's this guy? I remember thinking, this one won't see out his contract, but he's seen it out. And he's proved me and many people wrong, because I had never heard of him. And it's sort of it's typical of the Orlando Pirates. Orlando Pirates always find these coaches that no one has heard of. Joseph Zimbabwe, Micho, before, like the 2005, 6, 7 Micho. There was a guy called Shell Longeveld. There was that other coach who won the treble, the first treble, with the glasses. I just forgot his name, from the Dutch guy, you know. They always bring these guys no one has ever heard of. And they bring them in, and these guys, they come through. So I expect them to continue with that thing, because it seems as though they have some connection somewhere where they can profile coaches and bring them. Not all of them have worked out. Most of them have not worked out. But this one worked out. So I expect them to go back the same route, to say whoever is helping them recruit and profile those coaches, chances are that person will probably point them again to another guy. And then they'll say, no, this guy was an assistant at Barcelona Academy, or what. Yeah, he's got a UEFA license. He likes playing Spanish type football. He likes young players. Yeah, he comes in. We've never heard of him. He lands up here like, okay, let's see what he's got. But I think what Riviero did, he showed us as fans of all clubs and of Orlando Pirates and the media, let's just give let's give coaches a chance, man. Let's not just judge you based on the fact that you were coaching in Finland or wherever. He showed me that just give you a chance, let's see what you can bring. Because Pirates may not be playing the most enterprising football of all time, but you see they've been very effective, they've been very good, and I like it. And most of the players, he's given them confidence. Abo Maswanga, Abo Lemufukeng, Maho, Pamabasa. You know, so he's given them a lot of sorry about that. It's given them a lot of confidence to shine and become players, and some of them now they get selected regularly for Bafana, which is fantastic, man. So it's a big blow, especially considering where Pirates are unbeaten in the CAF Champions League, unbeaten. League title, it looks like it's still alive. I don't think it is, but it looks like it's still alive. Nedbank Cup, huge possibility. They can still win 2 or 3 trophies at the end of the season. You know, if things go their way. You know, football is very random, and certain things can go for you, and you find yourself winning league titles, CAF Champions League, and a Nedbank Cup. Then he says goodbye. I think there's something to play for, and it looks like the players in the club and the supporters will galvanize behind them and say, let's give it one last push. The last 2 months of the league, let's give it one more push. After that, we salute you, coach. Have a good one. Thank you for the memories. It looks like it's heading in that direction, and he would deserve it, because if your coach comes in 3 seasons and gives you 5 trophies, even if it's trophies that I just think I don't rate MTN 8, but okay, it's still a trophy. You know, Nedbank Cup, obviously, that's a big trophy. So, irrespective of what I may think about the trophies, he gave them trophies. They are a happy bunch of fans.
Yeah.
But maybe a Ligiana, Kefinyana, maybe would also make it even sweeter for them. So, all the best to the coach. I think he's done a fantastic job. And I hope Paris, man, they find another coach who's going to continue with what this man has done. Maybe one of the assistants can take over, or they'll bring in someone of similar profile, or they're going to have to go and get Coach Pizzo or Rulani, who's going to bomb the whole thing and rebuild it, which is going to be another long process. And I don't think they want to go through that. Anyway, Mr. Siso, I think that wraps up for tonight.
Yeah,
man.
What was with us in these network issues? We are able to finish the video.
No. You disappeared for a minute and came back, so it's good for us. It's good for us. Man. And to the viewers, thank you for watching the video till now. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and support us. Swiss and I have a goal in life now. We want to go to the World Cup next year. So we need viewers and sponsors. If there's such things in the world, we need them to get there. Even if one of us go, it's fine. It's a win for all of us. If Swisso goes, it's a win for all of us. You'll send me pictures and be like, But please do like and subscribe to the channel, man. And Swisso, we've got the CAF Champions League coming up this week, quarterfinals. So I think we'll be watching out for that, and maybe we'll meet again sometime during the weekend. We'll push another video.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right, my brother. Thank you. Good night, my brother. Away.
Good night, sir. Away.
Away.